Have you ever wondered what makes a logo really unforgettable? Or how a simple icon can tell such a powerful story and can stand the test of time and actually represent a brand at its core? It's important to understand that a logo is a crucial part of any brand's visual identity system. And without the logo, it sort of falls to the ground, or it sort of falls apart, right? Today, I'm going to be running us through creating a logo for the Zap brand. And at the end of this video, you're most likely going to understand a lot about the logo design process and possibly have some tools to get started on one yourself. Welcome to day 4 of the brand build challenge, and so far we've been able to identify the name of the brand that we're working on, the brand's purpose, the brand's vision and mission statements. Right, and on day 2 we talked about the target audience, and we are able to identify that for the Zap target audience we're going to be focusing on individuals that are in the urban settlements. And then on day 3 we talked about the positioning statement, which is very crucial if we're going to get the right approach to the branding visuals for our specific brands. So today I'll be coming up with the logo for the Zap brand from scratch, from start to finish. We'll be doing everything right here, right now. The first thing you want to consider in the logo design process is the word mapping, right? Word mapping is sort of like you exploring the words and then creating, let your imagination do some work, and then creating a whole database of elements that you can infuse into the logo. What do I mean? So ask yourself questions like, what emotions should the logo evoke? We are trying to evoke a sense of emergency, speed, quick, right? Something that feels it can represent the brand anywhere and everywhere, and something that if people see it, they get the idea. Like, even if they don't get the idea, there is an idea to be gotten. Sure, you get what I'm saying, right? So what visual elements can suggest this? What visual elements can help drive this home? And also to the audience, will the audience like this? For the Zap brand, we're going to be looking at a few things, right? A few things. And like I said, the word mapping process is a word, right, and a map. You know how maps show you items or locations in a city? The word mapping process is supposed to reveal words, meanings, connections in a word. So we're going to build an entire map of words that are related to the Zap identity. So the first word that comes to mind when you think about Zap, right, is most likely a lightning bolt. Or you can also break it into 2 words, bolt, right? And then move it further, light. Then move it further, glow. You can see all these words are embedded in the Zap name, right? Then let's take it a notch further, right? Let's take it a bit more. Let's build more locations on this map, right? So after that, these are sort of things that first of all pop in your mind when you think about the word Zap. But that's not all. When you think about the word Zap, another thing also pops in your mind: speed, fast, quick. Are you seeing where we are going? Right? You can also get things like shock. So the idea is to come up with things that are close to what the brand is, or sort of have a connection. Electric, right? Electric, bright. So you can see this. You can see these 2 is already even connected. Shock, electric, right? If lightning bolt touch you, it shock you. Lightning bolts are fast, quick, right? Again, you're seeing how we are building a road of networks, and that brings me back to the point of what is the brand all about. So Zap is also, according to the things that we have built so far from the brand's purpose, it's a delivery app, right? And then delivery signifies what? Road. Network. Path. Travel. Move. Are you seeing what we are doing? Some of the brand values are energetic. You get energy, right? So you can begin to feel the sense of, okay, yeah, now I'm getting what the brand is about. As you have seen, the word mapping process is pretty fun but pretty crucial, because with the word mapping process, we'll be able to tie words that are essential to the logo, right? That make meaning to the brand, because the logo has to make some meaning. I know there are advocates for the logo should be very descriptive, the logo should have all this, or the logo should be very simple, or the logo does not need to have a meaning. I'm a very, very strong believer in the fact that the logo should at least have some meaning to the brand. So we've gone through the word mapping process. The next thing we want to do is the mood boarding. So we want to go into finding similar imagery or similar visuals for the brand that we're trying to build, because at the end of the day, we want to build a brand that is cohesive to the industry. But even if we want to revamp what is already in existence, we have to see what is already in existence. In building a mood board, we have to remember some of the words here. So for mood boarding, you want to get into sites like Behance, Pinterest, Google, or other inspiration site. So what is the first thing you want to do is take a word from the word mapping process, and then we said speed logo. So this is building a mood board, and the mood board is specifically for the logos. Now it can affect how we take the entire brand feel, but this is building a mood board for just the logo. So you can see a commit. They will import it into our Illustrator file. You can copy and paste it, right? So the first concept. So basically, you can take this entire page as a mood board, honestly, right? But I like to look for specific things that can influence my logo direction, right? Copy this. So we're trying to build an icon type logo, right? Not a word mark. For the Zap brand, we're trying to build an icon, and I think an icon can adequately represent the brand. If you don't think for your brand an icon works, or if you feel like there is specific recommendations from the client, then your mood boarding phase will be different. So we'll now change the words from speed logos to lightning. Okay, so we are getting somewhere, right? So let's take the image of a lightning, right? There is one here too. I'm liking how this looks. So the goal of the mood board is to kind of let your mind wander, right? Feed your mind so that when the creativity begins to flow, it flows from a good place. It flows from a reservoir of ideas, of things that are already in your imagination. You can't really draw from oblivion. You have to draw from what already is on ground, right? So that's why we are doing this. So this is what you will call research, right? And in your research phase, you can also begin to consider the brand's identity. So let's also do some research into some of the words before we go into focusing on the identity. So let's say delivery logos, right? So in order not to waste your time coming back here to do another identity mood board, you just build a mood board that sort of encompasses the feel of your brand, right? So we just finished the mood boarding process, and from the mood boarding process now we can get into our sketching. So sketching ideas, sketching concept from the word mapping and the brainstorming sessions, you begin to see that the ideas begin to come to life. The things in your imagination that you desired for the brand's logo to look like begins to take shape. If some of these processes were not taken, there's every likelihood that you wouldn't get the good or the best logo for the brand. So let's get right into sketching our logo ideas. Let's try to get abstract shapes, right? So we'll start with lightning, right? So from our image here, we can see that lightning has this shape, right? You can even add another layer, right? You don't need to paint your sketch, just let the ideas flow. Now for the Zap brand, we're looking at not just lightnings, we're looking at incorporating multiple ideas into one image or one icon, right? So let's start by saying something of this sort, right? So we have letter Z, right? And then we say, okay, you know what, since letter Z is already feeding fast, let's just work on that for a logo. Now sketches do not have to be fine, they just have to convey the idea. So the concept for this sketch is basically a lightning bolt, right? So let's move this out of the way. So we have the first piece of concepts, right, for the Zap brand. Now it doesn't look a lot like a logo yet, but just give it time for it to sink in, right? Since I'm not using pen and paper, I can make some more adjustments to my sketch, right? So we're trying to sort of make a Z or a lightning shape that is very, very subtle. So if you can see it, right? Can you see that? So that's a sketch. So this is the letter Z, road networks, and boxes. So you see this idea here? That's what I'm trying to translate into this. But in, if you read the book still like an artist, you get what I'm trying to do here. So we have gone we've gone icon, 2 different icons and 3 different icon ideas. Let's see how we can maybe combine many of these into an icon that feels professional. So this is what we call the resketching or fine-tuning phase of the sketch. So again, I am going the abstract route. I'm not trying to sketch any other thing. But if you want to let your creativity and imagination go wild, just sketch as many times as possible, as many things as possible, right? And then refine. So let's refine this idea plus this idea to form something, right? So we know we have sharp, fast, quick, and we are trying to really express this feeling in the logo. Hey, I'm sure we're enjoying the process so far. Hey, look, even if you don't understand certain things right now, give it some time, give it a little bit of practice. I'm sure you will get it right. So let's get back into the process. Now, again, like I said, it sort of has to represent the brand appropriately. So from this, you can see this letter Z has triangles, few triangles forming here, right? From the letter Z, you can see it here. You can see it here, right? That letter Z is basically 2 triangles inside and out, right? So why don't we take that concept along with, say, boxes and stuff in this slant format and make it this. So we'll take the first triangle, take the second triangle. So we're trying to create negative space, right, for the logo. So you can see the Z is already formed, right? The Z is already formed. But let's try something else, right? So this is too easy, it's too simple. If you see this logo somewhere, most likely it's already existing somewhere in some shape or form. But let's go a step further. So we do the same concept, but this time with a little bit of a twist, right? So we have these 2 triangles. Let's add another triangle, but not necessarily a triangle, but one that can say, okay, you know what, this is letter Z or letter Z, right? Are we seeing it? Right, so you can see the Z accurately represented, and it still gives off the sharp, speedy vibe, right? So it's the same thing, right? So we'll fine tune it when we finally are vectorizing. But as you can see, honestly, the location sign is still there, Seth. Right? It's still there. If you turn this around, the imagination won't me, but you get what I'm saying. So after that, we vectorize. So after you have sketched on paper, you've sketched on your tablet, just import the logo or take a picture of it on your paper with your phone, and then import it into Illustrator, right? So your sketch is going to look messy. That's fine. You can use rulers and everything to fine tune it. But the idea is now we want to vectorize. So in vectorization, we're using the line tool to sort of draw lines in proportion, right? And then using it to form our logo shape. So remember, we are trying to keep the shape the letter Z. And what I recommend to you is, if you see similar shapes in your logo, just create one and then duplicate it, right? And that's what I would do. But for now, there is something here, there is something. So I think we need to maintain the top direction of the arrow. And then maybe we'll form our logo like that. So select all the lines and then we draw over it. Again, this is just me vectorizing. It's nothing serious, it's just me vectorizing. So we can duplicate this and then turn it in here. So you can see that it's aligns, right? And you can see our Z. So I think it accurately represents the brand. It represents the road networks. So like I said, we combined all this. It has the letter Z, it has the road networks, it has the packaging box, right, which is this rectangle here. It has the arrow to signify direction. It has connectivity. It has energy. When you slant something, it feels like it's moving. And it has the lightning bolts, which is also the Z, right? If you further move the Z, it has the lightning bolts 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you get the concept, right? So that's how you can sketch ideas and bring them to life. You can turn them around, right? And it's still the same logo, but it feels like if you call this one Zen Airs, right? Zen Air. You believe this is a flight brand, right? Or an airport brand, or what's their name again? Aircraft brand. But no, that's not what we're doing, right? We're trying to create a logo for Zap. So I think maybe we can add something again. Duplicate this. Hey, I'm just exploring. It's not bad, not a bad idea. We just need to align it properly. And you can see it passes the scalability test. It passes many tests. But there's one thing we can do. It feels too sharp. It feels like everything is too sharp. And we remember we said in the brand, we said we want a sense of calm. We want to feel trusted, right? At the same time, approachable. So this all feels too sharp. So hold Control or select the direct selection tool, and then you will see certain handles show up for the anchor points. You can move them in a little bit, and the brand all of a sudden, I think this one we need to leave it a little bit sharp. All of a sudden feels more calm while not losing its speed. Are you with me? Oh, who don't want to patronize app? Who doesn't want to patronize app? Right, let's just select. So in font selection, right, is crucial to understand balance. So your font has to sort of align, balance. What there's this word is either used in relationships. It's escaping me right now. Complement, yeah. So like they say, couples have to complement one another, right, in terms of their traits and characteristics. right? They are different personalities, but they have to complement one another. So the same way in your font selection, it has to complement one another. The font or the typeface that you select has to complement the logo. So for this, we'll be looking at a few. Trap has the robust feel, right? But these ink traps are causing a bit of a fight with the logo. It doesn't feel like they belong together, right? So let's go with another of my favorite fonts, Sign. And although Sign still has these issues, and I don't want to use the usual Montserrat's, Poppins, Inter, and the rest, right? So I think Sign works. If you have a recommendation for fonts, maybe we can use it, right? But you can see I'm doing what they call the tracking, right? And then, but there's something we'll do which is kerning, right? You can do kerning instead of tracking. We'll come here, right click, and then convert to outlines. Now what this does is it separates each individual element of the logo. And so what we can do is adjust each logo, each letter manually, and create the space that we think works for the brand, right? So I feel you can put it ahead, I feel you can put it behind. Either way, the logo has the necessary feel to it for it to be a logistics brand. Okay, so guys, as you can see, the logo is looking really good already, and come on. So that's how you come up with a logo for a brand, and that's how I have come up with the logo for the Zap brand. So for now, we'll be building the Zap brand for the next few days, and then by the end of this 14-day challenge, we will have something good to look at. So hey guys, see you tomorrow. Remember, stay creative. Cheers.